for a connection, I'll accept or decline depending on who
So
it is.
there's no action or activity coming from your side?
No.
Okay.
I'm a LinkedIn dud.
So when you did join it, what were you using? Why did you decide to use LinkedIn?
You know what, Michelle, I'll be honest with you. I don't even remember what motivated me. I'm sure I probably went to a networking meeting through or whatever, and somebody maybe I did go to a LinkedIn, just a session that was offered through Meetup, and I went home and decided to create it, and that was the end of it. So I've never utilized it to my advantage.
Okay. So everything that I share with you is all opinion. There's no right or wrong with LinkedIn. There's no good or bad. It's only opinion of what has worked for me.
Yep.
And I think a lot of stuff that pretty much works. It's like me showing you how to do a proper squat or how to do bicep curls or what kind of cardio exercises are best. And, it works because it works for me all the time in my business.
Okay.
It's a huge return on investment. So question for you, as it pertains to Nerium, are you doing Nerium full time, or tell me a little bit about your career?
I worked for IBM right out of college for 16 years, and I retired when I was 39 years old.
Wow.
And it was because we were having our first child at that age, and my husband was also with IBM, and he was going for the CEO job, and we moved around quite a bit overseas and back here domestically. So I wanted to be the anchor at home. So I was a full-time mom, Michelle, for several years.
That's a job in itself.
Yeah. And we had 2 boys, and, during that time, I really just became a volunteer wizard with all the activities that pertain to their lives, and got divorced in 2013. And that involved a financial meltdown for the 2 of us. So I am at a point where I know I've been working with Nerium now for 3 years, haven't really rank advanced the way I want to. And so I am very committed to Nerium, but I have come to the realization that I need to find another way to make income. So I have a interview this next week. So in answer to your question, I have been full-time, but without a whole lot of, satisfaction of where I am in the business.
Okay. And that's fine. So that is where yours, and I understand I went through a divorce in 2012. That's the reason why I moved to Toronto to work with Organo Gold and help with some training and facilitating and, my recruiting and doing the bucket list and everything I wanted to do. And I missed Houston and I came back, and thus my life started to change and other things. And this stuff, the LinkedIn consulting and speaking started to escalate. So I was like, wow, okay. I'm not from here. I have no ties to Texas, Houston, or the US. Actually, I'm from Canada. I love Canada.
I remember you met Shiloh Preston, and she is from
Calgary.
Yeah. So you 2 had a chance to speak just for a little while.
Exactly. So my question is, you're interviewing and looking for something else to supplement your income. So what would you want to discuss LinkedIn for today for you as to maybe wanting to get more information about for your Nerium business?
Nerium business.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. And so that too, you can still work full-time or work other positions and do Nerium at the same time and still combine that conversation into both.
Right.
Into your LinkedIn profile.
Okay, good.
So are you you're working, as a business partner in Jen's team, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Great leader.
She is, and that's probably why I'm still with Nerium. I mean, I have been very diligent about trying to build a customer base and trying to build a team, but I think a common frustration for a lot of us is it's hard to find people that are willing to stay committed and have the work ethic that it takes to
well, I get you.
Interaction
is a hard business.
Yeah.
Very, very, and you have to go through a lot of people to find the ones that are very serious about what they do.
Right.
Where is your ranking now?
I'm my highest rank I have achieved and have been at most consistently as director. I slipped back to senior brand partner a couple months ago. So I'm at a senior brand partner level now.
Okay. And how many people active in your downline?
Just a handful, 3.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. And do they have a team?
No, actually, one person has one person on her team. So um, I would say that I've had more fortune in just building a customer base and just, well, that's my answer. I have just one person that's got somebody under her who's active.
So what do you think, like when in the last 3 years of doing Nerium, what has, like, think about a time when you were really, really blowing and going and real successful at it. What were you doing to make you successful at this?
I think it was the very beginning when I first signed up. I had just a few, I had 3 people that signed up right away. And I don't know if it was just the fact that Nerium was new and it sounded exciting. I mean, it still is exciting to me, but I'm talking about how it sounded to others. Um, I think part of my problem, Michelle, is I really have, um, I don't have the techniques down to get out there and meet new people at the rate that you have to in order to keep exposing. That's why I'm thinking, I've not taken advantage of social media, and that's probably what I should be doing to find a different channel to get exposure to new people. Um, when you work out of your home, you really got to force yourself to,
I get it. Yep.
all too well. So, and I don't know if I've answered your question
You
adequately.
have. So the people that, okay, so the people that you did actually sign up and I'm very careful in using the words of network marketing as business partners. I call everybody a business partner, not my
Uh-huh.
downline. I don't want to disrespect that because they're all important. So, and also then when you get out and you meet new people or potentially signing up people, I want to know a little bit about them. What do you find the type of person that you are attracting into the Nerium business or having conversations with? What's their background usually?
Well, I've got the ones who are active. I have met since I've been in the business. And they're both in their 50s and are working very hard, and it very much appealed to them. Both women, and it very much appealed to them to have an avenue to create a more secure phase of their life when they hit retirement. Um, the other one that I talk to pretty consistently is somebody I've known since we lived overseas, and I reached out to him because he is still in corporate America and does a lot of international travel. So I figured that would be a good connection for when we start going overseas. And so I've got one guy that I work with, but the other 2 women that are active are actually 3 actually that I talk to pretty consistently. They're all in their 50s, and it appealed to them to generate extra income for retirement.
So were they ones that were active consumers first before they decided to be business partners?
Let's see here. One,
You like using the product? I
2,
want to do what you do.
yeah, both of them. Well, 2 of the 3 were, yes.
Okay. And then one with international travel. So are these women, corporate
Oopsie.
women,
I just,
stay at home?
are they stay at home? No.
Are they incorporate corporate? Or they
One's in corporate and one owns a house cleaning business in Florida. um, I just happened to meet her through another connection down in Florida because my mom has a condo down there, and I had gone down to do some home improvement to her place, and I met her in my activity that was required to get my mom's condo whipped into shape.
So what do you find? What about retail consumers, like versus business partners? Do you have a lot of consumers that you're selling the product to, or
I've enrolled about almost 100 customers, and I'd say of those 100, I have about 20 to 25 that are ordering product consistently.
on auto ship?
Yeah, yeah.
So what do you find? And again, I'm just kind of digging a little bit. It's a
Yeah,
whole,
that's fine. You ask whatever you want to.
yeah. So I don't want to seem, because I can come across as feeling like I'm interrogating. This is
No.
where that comes out in me. So the people that are consumers using products, have you ever done an assessment of, what type of products, who's like the majority of what type of product is being bought. Like, for example, maybe the majority of your clients are buying vitamins, or the majority are buying the Nerium skin serum, or the majority, like, have you ever broken that down?
Not by percentage, but I know very specifically that it's either people who are taking the EHT, the brain health supplement, or it's skincare customers.
Okay. And then you could even break it down to skincare, because yeah, I've heard about your EHT. My ex-husband is a former professional football player, and there has been some concern about the helmet syndrome and being
Yeah.
out. And I've also met a lot of NFL players who, through his friends, and I understand a lot of that concern. I know that FDA ways you can't claim anything, but it obviously is something that's working in, not just NFL players, but maybe great for athletes as well.
Yeah, I've got a woman who just upgraded from being a preferred customer to a brand partner. That is, she's in my downline, but her reason is her husband had a traumatic brain injury when he was in the military, but her one child has ataxia, which is a neurological gross and fine motor movement disorder. And it's just been wonderful for them how the product has helped. So she created and boy, she has used social media to attract customers. So there's another testimony to how powerful social media can be.
Is it good for, is it just brain disorders, or is it just the brain period? So what I mean by that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's, we lead with the fact that it's just an outstanding preventative maintenance strategy to ensure you're doing a very smart thing for brain health overall. But, when we find people like retired football players or people who have suffered from a traumatic brain injury, it has just demonstrated over and over again that those people get amazing results very quickly. So there's two categories of people that we market to, but we don't ever want people to think that the only ones that should be taking it are people who already have issues.
Well, I was going to ask, what about depression?
Yeah, depression's another area.
Yeah,
Or
I'm thinking about stuff like that, and I will say this, because it comes to also your target audience. Because like I think it was you, I was standing with somebody at the end of eWomen Network, and I said, if I was the number one network marketer in another network marketing company, and there is 800 Nerium brand partners or executives standing in the room, and I come by, yeah, we talked about it, and I go to each one of you and I say, what makes you unique at what you do? Because I'm trying to determine, who am I going to partner with? You kind of have, you need to know with confidence what makes you unique. And I ask these questions because I'm digging, because what makes you unique is through your customers and your brand partner and your partners that sign in with you, because your audience starts to tell you, or what they recognize, what makes you unique. This is how I became unique as being a LinkedIn traffic cop and a Get Off Your Ask expert, because I combine and blend my executive recruiting success and skill sets into one. And so you have to know, and that's why I ask about the audience, because then I think to myself, wow, I'm going through premenopause. Part of the symptoms for me are depression, mood swings, my hormones are all out of whack, and I have up and down days. And one day, in one moment, I'm crying, and I'm not saying that, but that product could also be a target audience of people that you want to talk to. So then I say, if that's the target audience I want to talk to, then I have to go find where those people are. And LinkedIn can be a tool in order to help you find. You kind of have to find your audience or your niche. So there is a woman that I know that is very high up in Send Out Cards, and she was one of my clients. But her niche was real estate agents. And she knew that she was going to consume up all of the real estate agents, because Send Out Cards is really great for taking the picture of the house that they bought, a welcome gift. Send Out Cards also has brownies and different treats. So she found her audience, and you'll start to see a common in your clients. And you can talk to them because then also then they can talk to their friends and then their friends. And they teach you this in network marketing as well too. It's something that you already know this.
But you know what? The very thing you're talking about right now, we have never had any training like this. I mean, I know we're supposed to be talking about LinkedIn, but
Oh, that's okay.
just this question posed, you know, what makes you unique? That's never been a training topic in our, and we have great trainers, but it's always pretty consistent with how we get trained. It's just that you get a different slant on it depending on who's in the front of the room. So it's interesting that, I mean, I think it's very smart that you're suggesting that we kind of go down this path of really trying to figure out, you know, who are we marketing to? I did the Dallas Bridal Show this weekend, all day Saturday, all day Sunday, 2,000 or 3,000 people were there, talked to a lot of folks. So, you know, when we had downtime, because you can't, you know, not everybody's going to stop and talk to you at your booth, but that's what we were trying to figure out. Who is our target audience? And just thinking about this past weekend, I think the perfect person for skincare is women in their 30s, because that's when they start to think about, oh my gosh, I got to start doing what's smart to take care of my skin if I want to, you know, look as good as I can for as long as I can.
Well, it could be that too, but I hear you saying, I think, and then what is our target? It's not what is it is
Mine.
what makes you unique and what is your, ask Jens. Jens, tell me what has made you unique and successful at what you do with Miriam. She'll be able to tell you that. Because you can look at the history. It's don't go in as a group, go in as what works for Deb.
Okay.
And yeah, because everybody, you've got a different personality than me or Jen's or anybody else. It's what are people seeing in you for them to want to win. It's not just the 30s. I think it's 30s. For me, I'm thinking it's what you could look, connect with a premenopause, menopausal, perimenopausal, postmenopausal women who are looking to sustain more healthy brain or more controlled mood swings outside of the hormones. It could be something like that. Here's what I will share with you, what I know as a recruiter from the corporate world, because in order to determine a different audience, sometimes, probably Deb, it might be good for you to go and find a job, because now you get to step into a whole new circle of people.
Yep.
A whole different conversation, and you're creating relationships, and they start to see you. And they go, what is it that you're taking? I mean, there are so many different tricks that I used to train when in Organo Gold by, you know, having the coffee samples with me, and I'd be out with my friends or my corporate clients, and I'd take the coffee and just throw it on the table and say, hey, waitress, can I have some hot water, please? and then everybody is looking at me going, what are you doing? They're like, what is that? I say, oh, it's just my coffee. And so can I have some hot water? Did you guys want some coffee too? Well, bring them some hot water too. And then I let it kind of speak for itself. Sampling, we're carrying samples with you all the time, right? You know, in your summary of your LinkedIn profile, to sample and then look at maybe the top 2 or 3 products that people want to sample or want to know. Because what I teach also in network marketing, and I have in the past, network marketing, the most successful marketing way to sell your products is by trial. That means, for example, when you walk into the food court in the shopping center, do you notice when you walk through the food court, you've got those people standing there with the toothpick, with the chicken on the stick, and you walk by and they want to give you a sample. The makeup counters do the same thing.
Right.
They have the samples. So what usually happens, and it's done, I've done it, you've done it, we've all done it. I've taken a sample. I'm not hungry, but I'm like, oh, that tastes good. And then I walk over and I look at the menu, and they go, which one? I say, which chicken is that? They go, that's the number 5. I go, I want that. So he's just made me into a consumer. I don't know if Miriam pushes the trial.
Yeah, they do.
Trial and sampling product.
We have a well-defined product prospecting system, and yeah, we do.
Which is something, you know, I always say I've got to do more of it, but I carried my coffee everywhere I went, because coffee is a conversation everywhere. Right. I still drink the product today. I just don't do the business anymore.
Right.
You know, so I understand that. So I'm just kind of talking the language, because guess what we're doing? We're using words. You're hearing my words. You're using words. I'm hearing your words. And words turn into specific keywords in your LinkedIn profile.
Okay.
So I want you to do a quick scroll from top to bottom, and I just want to do a quick view. Slow.
Oh, sorry.
Slow.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so go.
Go. I mean, Michelle, you're just gonna say this is like an F minus when when you look at this.
Doesn't matter because I can show you some things. You've been in sales, so this will be easy for you.
Okay, good. I have over 500 connections. I don't even know how that's happening.
Good. That's good. That's a good start. Okay, go all the way to top, and I'm going to show you a couple things. Okay, so stop. So see where to, no, go up a little bit, go down a little bit. Okay, see where it says to the right hand of your screen where it says notify your network and you see a green button that says yes?
Okay. Yes, I do.
Okay, click on that to know. Click on the yes to know. There you go. Because what that is it's your activity. So anytime you publish, make an update, change your profile, you want to turn that off to no, because when you have it on yes and make a change, all 500 plus connections see the change.
Oh, that's good to know
And
that. Okay, thank you.
if you're making a lot of major changes.
Which
Now,
I will be.
I, as a recruiter, I keep mine on all the time because I choose that because I want my name to pop up in front of people's faces all the time.
Right.
So here's the magic of LinkedIn. LinkedIn is based on ensuring it's a social data analytics or human analytics platform for business, not Facebook. Okay, totally different thing, i.e. what I mean by the average income of a Facebook user is probably between about 80% of the income is between the between 30 and 50,000 a year income earners.
Okay.
Average income earner for a LinkedIn person is 83,000 household income. So the spend is different as well, and the conversation is different.
Okay.
I'm not saying Facebook is not a bad thing because I can show you some things that Facebook will intertwine and sync with LinkedIn. But everything is based on keywords. So we're having a conversation with words, but we've got to get that conversation of words written in your LinkedIn profile. Otherwise, nobody knows how to find you. And you have to go from the space of I'm going to be active. LinkedIn is me going to the gym, and I'm going to work that muscle called LinkedIn for activity and results to happen. Because when there's activity, there's results, right?
Yep.
As a headhunter, I go in and I go look for keywords on anything I want, whether it's sales, whether it's a business, whether it's research, whether it's a specific skill set, whatever that is, that's how I start to find my new connections in my audience based on what I want.
Okay.
When it translates to what I want, what you want, or what you choose and believe is based on keywords. So I use the example, Deb, do you eat pizza or have you ever ate pizza?
I have.
And what kind of pizza, if I were you wanted to call pizza today, you want to stay in, who would you call?
Marco's Pizza.
Okay,
And
what kind of pizza would you order?
veggie.
Veggie? And veggie means what? What vegetables?
Green peppers, mushrooms, tomatoes, onions, basically, yeah.
Okay, so I use this as an analogy. Would you agree that ordering pizza is a very personal experience?
Yes.
And people get very specific about what they want on their pizza?
Yes.
And what happens in return when you ask them for that on your pizza? What do they do in return?
They deliver. They produce the pizza that I've requested.
Right. So would you not agree that those words that you use to specifically ask for toppings on your pizza, and they're words, right?
Mm-hmm.
Specifically asked for that, and they delivered it back. It's universal law.
Got it.
That's how it's fact. It's universal law. It's what you speak or think, what comes out is exactly what boomerangs back to you. So let's translate that into LinkedIn in your career. And right now, so what I say to people, one thing I notice about networking, and I've done this a very long time, two things. When people ask for something, they're very generic.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't know how to they don't know what they want. They don't know how to specifically do what they kind of know what they want. They just can't find the right words to specifically say that so that the listener knows how to help.
Got it.
And when you sit at network meetings, you hear, well, I just want a job and I want more speaking engagement. I need more people in my Nerian business. I'm like, that I don't know how to help you. I don't know how to help you. When my client calls and says, I'm looking for to hire a project manager, I say, well, what does that mean in your world? Or Deb says, I'm looking for a sales job. I still don't know how to help you. What does that mean?
Right.
Well, I'm looking for a sales job in digital media, selling social media advertising and services in Dallas, Texas. That's telling them what you want in your pizza.
Okay.
So, couple of things. The key thing to your LinkedIn profile is to populate as many keywords as possible and fill everything in order to be found. So where do you start and do that? Do you see right underneath where it says summary and language? And by the way, I like your picture because I always say, have a clean corporate professional headshot.
Okay.
Your
Thank
makeup is clean, your jewelry is nice, your hair is nice. It's a very clean. Now the back shot, the backdrop, I'd choose probably a clean white or gray, but that's
Right.
fine. It's still a nice picture. But right underneath your name where you see summary and language, I want you to click on that box right underneath it where it says view more. Okay, so this is where you can start to populate.
Okay.
And you take your time in looking at each one of these things. Do not skip anything and say that's not relevant.
Okay.
It's relevant. Some of the things like test scores, honors and awards, maybe you can skip that, patents, but most of everything else, projects you want to complete. It's going to take some thinking and writing on your part. And the most important area of your LinkedIn profile is your summary, which is right at the very top. The summary, it says add summary. The summary is actually where you write the ingredients of who you are, everything. Remember when you heard me speak at the table at eWomen Network, did you notice I said what I do and then I said who I am?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a combination of both. Same with the Nerium. It's like, okay, well, this is Deb's background, but who is Deb? Who are you? What makes you unique? What are the ingredients that combine your pizza?
Okay.
Your accomplishments. You could be a sales rep that, 110% over quota year after year. You were in President's Club. You sold XYZ products and services. You were organizational skills. You were a stay-at-home mom, raised a family, leading into being a brand partner at Nerium International, focusing on skincare, healthcare, and supplements for individuals. You could go on and on and on. It is a summarize, because what happened for me as being a recruiter, when people sometimes find me, companies find me, I ask them how they found me, and they say LinkedIn, and I go, oh, well, how did you find me? They said I put in the keywords cross-border, and I'm like, oh, interesting how you found me.
Cross-border. Oh, Canada, United States. Okay.
Right. So what makes me unique as a recruiter is I specialize in cross-border recruiting in the oil and gas industry between Calgary and Houston. And you'd think they'd find me by the word recruiter. So what we think someone is looking for to look for us is sometimes not what they found me a different way.
Okay. And Michelle, these keywords you're talking about, they just enter those at the top in that search field?
Right.
Huh.
When people are looking for you, if your keywords are not in your profile, they can't find you.
Right. Well,
that's how you become visible. But people go, well, I don't know what to write. Well, here's some examples of these boxes that will help you. Do you have a resume?
I do, and I'm completely changed. I'm not changing it, but I'm certainly updating it this week because I want to be able to give that to the person that I'll be having lunch with next Monday for this job opportunity.
But you can also go into accomplishments in your resume and copy and paste some of those words and put it in your summary, because part of your work career, which you spend a lot of time doing, makes up who you are.
Right.
Nerium requires sales.
Right.
Sales background.
Right.
It's part of it. Some people say, well, I don't do sales. I'm like, okay, well, you do, but you say you okay. You've heard that before as well.
Yes.
But it's part of what makes you. I'm a recruiter. Recruiting is part of network marketing, or direct marketing.
Right.
So you've got to put in all those keywords, because what if someone says, well, I really want someone that understands the corporate world, preferably in technology, and I want them to come to speak to our technology group about corporate wellness, because she knows how to speak to us.
Right.
You just don't know what the other end is looking for. I will say this, right underneath where your name is, in just a suggestion, I see where you put cosmetics.
Yeah.
Brand partner, Neri
That might be, would that have been,
click the pen beside it. And I'm going to suggest that you choose health and wellness,
okay,
if there is any health and wellness.
health, wellness, and
There
fitness.
we go. Put it right there. Just my suggestion. It's a little bit more broader. And the reason why I'm saying it, this might help you. I know this because I belong to a lot of HR groups and sales groups. So I step out of my circle into other different network groups that, because everybody is into skincare, right? Everybody is.
Mm-hmm.
They're all in different circles. They're not in one area.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go to the same area that other people are going to. Do go against the masses and do something different. So like, for example, corporate wellness is so huge for corporations right now, more than ever. And they are pushing their spending on that. So what if you could get involved with some health fairs or corporate wellness fairs? You get in with the benefits or the HR departments and you say, listen, I'm willing to come and set up a table to educate people at one of your health fairs about our brain supplement or proper skincare, about looking good, feeling good. You kind of have the whole process that a product that allows that. Like they'll bring My Fit Foods in, they'll bring a massage therapist in, they'll bring a person to do blood pressure checks. That is a really huge world right now.
You know what? I got to tell you, and I know we're going way past our time. And
That's okay. Not a big deal. I can spend the time with you.
But yesterday, we had a guy stop at our booth. He works for a company here actually in Plano called Skintastics. And, you know, gay, looked, his skin was beautiful, but all these people do all day long are procedures, Botox, whatever. I've never had any of that stuff done to me, so it's a foreign world to me. But what he said that was valuable that I really hadn't thought about before is how many men come in for procedures. And the reason they do it is that they are wanting to do everything possible to stay competitive in a fiercely competitive world of, you know, corporate America. They're scared to death that they're going to get squeezed out by younger guys.
So he can be also I call them, like, you want collaboration partners, affiliation partners, alliance partners that can also, they fall into what you do. So like, I'm even thinking like TV people, people who are in front of the camera, people who are entertainers, you know, they all are very vain about that.
You bet.
They look, partnering with photographers.
Mm-hmm.
Photographers take pictures of people who, you know, like modeling agencies, makeup artists, all of them. So you can incorporate their brand, but you could say, I'm looking to connect with, and remember, when you ask for something, you can only ask for one thing at a time, Deb. You can't ask for 1,000 things at once.
Right.
So I choose to show people right underneath your name where it says Debbie Johnson.
By the way, I think I should change that. Bashore was my maiden name. I don't know what made me decide to include my maiden name, but
well, I could include my maiden name and my married name because my brand was that Michelle Peavy is my ex-married name, but I kept it.
Okay.
I was married for 18 years, and my name and my brand came under Michelle Peavy. My married name is Hamilton, but I put both in there.
Oh, okay.
So it's a choice. There's no right or wrong, as long as, like, how do people know you?
Okay.
And it's just recent because you got divorced in 2013. So it's very still, they probably knew you from your maiden name. So keep it in there for a little while. Again, your choice.
Okay.
But I teach right underneath your name where it says brand partner at Nerium International. I teach you how to ask there.
Okay. Alrighty.
Where it says brand partner at Nerium International, where the pen is.
Mm-hmm.
Go up. Nope. Go up. Up. Up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right
Yes.
right there. That's the headline statement. And that's what I teach in my workshops with my clients. I teach you how, and we set up, when we work together individually, help you set up 5 different asks, but using the right word on how to ask for what you want in your pizza. So maybe one of them could say, I teach in the looking to connect with, or looking to collaborate with, or looking to network with statements as to what you want, not what you do. That is a ego title right there for everybody. Because I know that because I work in the world of recruiting. Everything is by title. We're looking for a project manager. We're looking for a CEO. We're looking for an engineer. That's title. That doesn't get you what you want. So I teach you how to ask. So maybe you might, and also too, I even thought about that guy getting involved in the drag queen scene or the transgender scene. They are so vain about making sure that they look good,
Right.
right? It's okay. It's just all skincare. But you could say looking to collaborate with, like I know one of the girls, I've worked with two other Nerium people in Houston. One of them wanted to focus on the NFL community. You
Yeah,
know,
you mentioned that.
again, by asking Jens, what makes you successful at Nerium? What would you say the majority of your business partners are, or your clients are? Where are they coming from? And maybe I know that she's got some connections with the NFL. It could be NFL players. You just people, or she found her niche is what's making her successful.
Well, and I will pose that question to her because I see her attracting all sorts of different types of people. So
You got to ask her what is it? What is the majority of your client base? Who are they?
okay.
What are they doing? Yeah, you can
Just-
ask her that.
Your subject of looking to collaborate with, where does that ask?
Click on the pen. Click on the pen.
Oh, that one right there.
And we're gonna put one together right now. So get rid of that. Everything. Just backspace all the way through. There you go. So don't be nervous, because this is not static. It can change anytime, and you can change it at any time. People remain static always in this, and I don't know why. You can change and ask for anything you want. So why don't we say, just like, let's play with it, and it might be something that, and the words can be defined even further. How about looking to connect with independent makeup artists in Texas? And you could get specific. You could say Dallas, Texas, area of Texas. You could even get more specific about what type of independent makeup artist. But let's just play with that for now. Click save. Now this is calling Papa John's and telling them what you want on your pizza.
Okay, got it.
Because you're saying, I want it to connect with independent makeup artists in Texas. Now you could say Dallas, Texas, or a specific area of Texas. That's one thing you're asking for.
Okay.
Now what we could do is, I just showed you some areas. Remember, you've got to fill things out. Everything's got to be filled out. Now, so I'm thinking now recruiter. I'm going, okay, Deb, let's go find some makeup artists. Let's go to the top in the search box, the very, very top. Let's go find it. Now I'm pretending I'm recruiting and looking for this person now.
Oh, so, okay, just type in Texas makeup artist.
No.
Oh, sorry.
Type in, because we're specifically getting in, we want to look for independent or freelance makeup artists. The reason why I say that is because, like, makeup artists like work for other companies, they usually won't let them collaborate with other people. Someone who's independent and a freelancer is more open to suggesting to their clients when they're putting on makeup for them, for photo shoots, whatever that may be. They can recommend and build a relationship with you, right? That's called a strategic partner, and that's called an other feet on the street, or a champion for you that is marketing for you as well. So you can type in, let's just play with, again, so this is how I go recruit. I have to play with words to get what I want, right? So type in the word freelance. One word. Freelance is one word. Okay, and now we're going to do what I call a Boolean search, which recruiters use. It's a trick. Type in quotation. Okay, makeup.
Dash up, or just makeup is,
one word.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
A space artist. Close quote. And then space, Dallas. You've got to get specific to your region as well.
Okay.
Enter. Look, you got 476 results.
Wow.
That have those words in their LinkedIn profile.
Okay.
Now, so click on Megan Denon. Click on her name. It looks like you're connected to her too. Because it says send message there, so you're already connected to her. Do you know who she is? Go down. We're going to show. So you connected with her. It tells you right there. You connected with her in January of 2015, 2 years ago.
Okay.
It keeps the history. So go down. So she's sales and business development with Cook Diamonds. She's an owner. She's a free, and she's still a freelance makeup artist. So it looks like she's got corporate by day, and she also works makeup by on the side as well. And she partners, look at, with fashion designers, photographers, models, which is another industry. If this is the domino effect, it starts giving you other ideas. Going down. And she,
Let me look at her name real quick again. Hold on.
well, I'm going to show you how you might know her too. Another area in your LinkedIn profile.
See, I have her in my directory too.
Yeah.
It's funny. It is funny.
So keep going down. I'm going to show you something else.
Okay.
Basic with Clarence. She understands public relations. Keep going down. She was with Jimmy Choo. So this girl's got it going on.
Yeah, she does.
Keep going. Keep going. Okay, she doesn't have shared connections in there. Usually there's a second. Keep going down. Okay, stop. So see right here where you see connections? She's opened up her whole database. She has it open to the public. You can see all of her customers or who's connected with her on LinkedIn by clicking on that 300. She's all 374 connection names are on there, but click on that shared one. This is how someone else and you and her know this guy.
Okay. Yeah, Mark is he's a big networker in Dallas. He's got his own networking group.
Right. So guess what? This might tweak you and say, you know what? This is a group I might want to connect with.
You know, it's interesting that you say that, because just about 3 weeks ago, I reached out to him. He didn't return my phone call because I want to start going to his meetup group. So
show up.
Yeah.
Just show up. Birds of a feather flock together. If you want to be in that circle, you got to show up in that circle. But this gal obviously is part of this. So again, I don't know. So then I go, oh, who's Mark Neese? So I click on his name. So I'm doing some research and investigation now. And I go, oh, he's got 500 plus connections. Actually, he's got 2,437 connections.
Where do you see that?
Look where it says posts.
Where it says posts.
The word, see relationship on the underneath his picture. Okay, go underneath where it says posts.
Okay.
Okay, go all the way to the right.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So keep going down. So then I'm going, whoa, this guy's really connected. He's got a great summary. Keep going. I want to know what the Sync Lab Media is. CEO, creative director. Keep going. And I start to research him because
I actually tried to get him a gig with his role as Caddy Club president to do a huge golf tournament, and they passed up on his services and used somebody else. That was the last time I talked to him.
But that's okay. That was then. This is now.
Okay.
So keep going. So I start to look to see what world he played in. Where is he volunteering? Okay, volunteering also are spaces where you can start to reach out to and hang out with. You also see how he writes out his organizations he supports. These are the things you have to fill out on your profile.
One of his causes he should have listed is bashing Trump, because he has way too many Facebook posts.
Keep it politically neutral. Don't talk about politics in your business.
Oh, well, I know. I'm sure he doesn't talk about it on LinkedIn, but boy, certainly.
So keep going down. Keep going down. It tells you where he went to school. Then there's his interests. Those are highlighted. You get to see everything about him because everything on here is connected to LinkedIn.
Oh, this is exciting.
I'll look at all his recommendations. These are people that have done business with him. These are also potential collaboration partners or people you can work with. It gets overwhelming, Deb, but I'm just showing you the stop. So
Okay.
You tell me he's a major networker?
Well, he is. That's how I met him. I used to network a lot, and I've just kind of dropped out because
Go back down to net connections.
Sorry.
Stay there. I'm going to show you something. This is the gold mine right here.
What, the connections?
Yes, because for you, and I will tell people and anybody who's in sales or area that has a database, you want to keep your database closed and not open to the public. This is a gold mine for you because he's showing you all the names of everybody he's connected with, which means there's some potential business partners and there are people that you could reach out to. By the way, I know Andre Angel really, really well with Tango Tab.
This guy?
Yeah, I know him very, very well. He's a good friend of mine. He's from Toronto, actually.
Oh, wow. That's funny.
Click on shared 59. You and him know 59 people.
Okay. So click on that. Okay.
Click on it. Yeah. So this shows you all the names that you and him are connected to.
I know all these folks.
Yeah. And I don't know, like it'll show you that they're first level connections to you. So usually they'll show you the first level connections.
Oh, Susie. Okay.
Right. So then I also look down and go, where is this guy hanging out? What kind of groups is he hanging out in? When you have a free account, you can actually join up to 50 plus groups in your LinkedIn profile. These groups are also networking places. They're watering holes. It's kind of like, I want to know where Oprah's hanging out. Let me belong to that group because she's in that group. Let me belong to that group. This gives you some other ideas. And then it shows you who influences him. He's following certain people.
Okay.
So it's kind of like you're trying to get into the same demographic, sociographic groups that he's in as well.
Okay.
And I know that you don't belong to a lot of groups, but groups are where you can also, when you're posting, put in your discussions, which again, I talk about showing people how to do that in my workshops or in consulting.
Okay. Very fascinating.
But I could go, as you can tell.
I can see how you could get addicted to this.
But it takes time. And the average LinkedIn user, Deb, uses LinkedIn for 15 minutes a month.
Well, I'm not even in that average. So
if you went to the gym for 15 minutes a month and you want to lose 20 pounds, that's not going to happen. So you see what I'm saying? The work has to come from you.
Okay, alrighty.
If you want to utilize LinkedIn and be ahead of the wave or ahead of the game, you've got to use it. You're in the right spot with connections, but then you want to grow your connections as well too. You can't stay just with the people that you have because people change.
Right. So, for example, like I was president of a big women's group at the Jesuit School of Dallas, and I'm still very involved.
It needs to be in your LinkedIn profile.
Pardon?
It needs to be put in your LinkedIn profile.
Okay, so put that in there. And I'm a big with Big Brothers Big Sisters, so that would go in the volunteer category as well.
Put it in. So
Okay.
You know what I'll say around this? I had a client contact me wanting to hire a CFO who was an animal rights activist.
Really?
I went, oh my God, how am I going to find this person? I did find and hire for them, but if he wouldn't have never filled his volunteering or organization that he supports, I would have never been able, and that was a must for the job.
Wow.
So again, you always have to remember, I'm going to fill everything out. Don't abbreviate anything, write it in full form, because you never know what the other person is looking for or what they're thinking.
Okay.
And so what I showed you, that's why I help people create the ask. This is what I want. I'll go, okay, let's go find it. You can't sit and hope that it's going to drop out of the sky. No,
Right.
Find it.
Okay.
Like for example, for the NERIUM conference, I know nothing about mobile technology, but I know that what I want to do from speaking from the stage to 3,000 people, I want to find a way where I can say at the end of my presentation, say, okay, so do you want to make more money? If you want to make more money, you want to get more visible on LinkedIn and you want to use your connections and expand your connections, then I'd love for you to participate and jumpstart my LinkedIn workshop. I want you to pull out your phone and type in 444999, type in the word jumpstart, put in your name, and boom, the link to my workshop will pop up and you can register right there. And it will all be done like this online so everybody can participate.
So that will be your ask. And I tell you, Michelle, you are going to get amazing response. I guarantee it, because this, like I say, we've never offered anything like this in a training venue. And you're going to
I don't have the magic pill. This is all from me being a super user in LinkedIn and being successful in my business. My business coach brought this to my attention and said, oh my God, you have to teach people how to do this. What are you talking about? Everybody knows how to do it. I had no idea.
How long have you been an active LinkedIn user?
Since 2004.
Okay. Wow. So, okay.
And all my money is made off of LinkedIn. I make a six-figure income using LinkedIn for my business. So, but it takes time. So I'm just giving you a very general, you got to remember too, when I do my workshop, or I'll do it online, let's say maybe 100 or 100, 200 people decide to participate on Zoom, I'm going to deliver the presentation that way. But then from there, people want to work individually with me, like how we are talking to each other in a session. And I say, okay, if you want to do a deep dive with me and you want me to specifically hone in on your asks, we're going to work together, but I'm going to make you do the work. Okay. That's why I make you share your screen and make the changes. I can't do that for you. I can't go do the squats for you and do cardio classes. The results have to come from you.
Right.
I just point. That's why I call myself a LinkedIn traffic cop. I point, you click.
Well, I think the way I would benefit going forward is first to take care of to take advantage of your group session, just to learn more. I will be honest with you, until I start working, I'm not going to have the ability financially to
No,
have
that's fine. Not a
work
problem. I'd like
one-on-one.
you to deliver that in March at your conference.
Okay, that's great.
But I'm giving you an example. I have a workshop tomorrow. I do this all the time, or I work individually with people. I'm not worried about that.
You know, the other night, I listened to a LinkedIn marketing session by Ray Higdon's wife, Jessica Higdon, Higdon, and they're doing a big LinkedIn session in Orlando in March. I don't know if you want to just look at it to see who they're attracting in the way of speakers, but
Right.
I had and it was because of you that I listened to this. I mean, you started to pique my interest on the value of this. So I don't know if you're familiar with.
No, there's a lot of people out there that
Okay.
are specializing in different areas of LinkedIn.
Okay.
My specialty is to help you get visible.
Yep.
And to expand, increase connections, and get active.
That's all that matters at this point.
Some people will focus more on how to get more sales, and so they'll use the sales navigator. Some people will focus on, specific areas of LinkedIn. Again, it's just like Miriam.
Okay, you said, what were the two phrases that you just used? Help get you visible. And what was the next?
I teach people, first of all, how to ask by identifying the specific keywords to implement those words into their LinkedIn profile. And then I teach you how to get visible, increase visibility.
Yep.
And connections.
Okay. Got it.
But again, in the workshop, we go through the top 10 things you need to know about your LinkedIn profile, which I call it Jumpstart My LinkedIn Profile. I have to teach people the functionalities first.
Yep.
You can go do anything else. I can't just jump in and say, hey, go over here, and you're going to go, wait a minute. So this has been fine-tuned and strategized for the last 2.5 years. I'm still fine-tuning. I'm dangerous enough to know what I'm doing, but I still always want to learn more.
Well, and are you getting to the point where you're gravitating more towards spending your time and earning your money doing this? Yeah. Or are you still very engaged in
I'm engaged in recruiting, because recruiting is a very fruitful business for me. So the recruiting financially feeds the other part of my business, which is the LinkedIn and speaking. I'm choosing, and I really truly believe that it's going to supersede, this part of my business is going to supersede my recruiting, which I would love to happen, because I'm so passionate about this, and I love to speak in front of people and teach them about this stuff, because I'm also an entertainer. I'm a professional singer and a salsa performer. So I love the stage, but I motivate. So I teach the motivation, the ask, and then LinkedIn. I kind of put it all together. That's my ingredients of my pizza.
Okay, great.
I put Michelle's flavor in there.
Well, I can't tell you how much I appreciate the fact that you've given me twice the time that you had originally guaranteed. You're a sweetheart, and I will look forward to seeing you on stage in March. And in the meantime, I'll start working on this.
And feel free to share with your team.
Okay.
And them that you had an opportunity to do this. I'm going to share you, then just say, oh my God, like what I learned from this. And I'm just teaching you now something. So you didn't know what you didn't know when we first started. Now you know.
So I've got somebody that I'll call as soon as you and I hang up. We worked the show together this past weekend. It's a YouTube link that I'll refer her to, which would allow her to see what.
The YouTube link is going to be our recorded session.
Okay. And
so I've got to upload it into my YouTube channel. I'll email it to you.
Okay, perfect. Wonderful.
Oh my God, this is what she did for me. Everybody's going to be different. It just gets you a little bit more excited again about, oh my gosh, there's those names from the names that you got at that bridal show. I don't know how you guys split up the leads, but you should be typing in those people's names and looking at their profiles to see what they're doing.
Good idea. Good idea.
You want
and my friend, she wants very much to be enlightened on LinkedIn, because she's a big Facebook user and needs to understand the value of LinkedIn as well. So I'll send that. Like I say, she'll be the first person I send this to. So
yeah. Well, I'm just glad that I could help. And like I said, I just meet you exactly where you're at, and then
okay. All righty.
So
and Jen's is going to do this with you tomorrow?
On Wednesday.
Okay, great.
Yeah, her and her assistant are going to join in on the video, and I'm going to show her if I can keep her attention that long.
She is a hard worker. She was texting me at 5:30 this morning. I know she. Okay. Well, you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day, and I look